the melanin queen. Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu, sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa na Baba. Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu, sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa na Baba. Sina hela, sina pesa, sina doo, sina nyota, piga moyo konde nitafika wanaokudharau leo watakusalimia kesho, wanaokusema sema watakusifia kesho, unaokula nao na kucheka nao, kesho kidondoka utakuwa nao. Piga moyo konde, wakati wa Mungu, wakati sahihi. Piga moyo konde, wakati wa Baba, wakati sahihi. Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu, sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa na Baba. Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu, sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa na Baba. Jana niliumwa nikadhani nitakufa, leo niko fiti, ukinicheki nadumbika. Nilipotishwa kazi walidhani nitasota, leo niko juu, ile kibosi nadumbika. Kama unaamini umesaidiwa na Mungu, piga kelele, kelele moja, kelele mbili. Kama unaamini umesaidiwa na Mungu, piga kelele, kelele moja, kelele mbili. Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu, sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa na Baba. Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu.
Hello Green World colleagues, hello versatile team. Is another great Wednesday evening that want to welcome you. My name is Patrick Njoroge Moniki, a 5-star consultant based in Naivasha, coming to you all the way from Naivasha, our versatile team office. We want to take this chance to welcome you to our Health Fellowship Hour that we shall have every day, Monday to Friday, 5:30 in the evening. It takes 1 hour up to 6:30 p.m. So today I am the anchor and I want to take you through one of the important products from Green World, our mother company. Today we want to talk about one of the micro elements that are very essential in our bodies, and that is zinc. So I'll be taking to you my talk today is on zinc tablets. This is the zinc, the tablet that I'm talking about in this hardy bottle, the zinc tablet, all the way from Green World company. So feel free, sit comfortably, write your notes. Let's take off together. So we want to ask ourselves, what are the main functions of zinc, the microelement zinc in our bodies? The key main functions of zinc. No wonder now we have the supplement that is zinc packed here. Very handy. Okay. What are the main functions of zinc to our body, our health? From a medical point of view, we know that all the way since we are born, we are tiny babies, we grow through that toddler stage, we grow to be adolescent, young adults, then adults, and later we age. So zinc is very, very important in what biologists or medical people would say in coming up with that formula that is in our body, the one that would call the DNA. Technically, DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. Yeah, kwa darasa hapo, DNA. So zinc is very, very important. It plays a major role in the creation of DNA. DNA is that formula that is embedded in our cells, and it's the one that describes how each one of us will grow, either to be tall, brown, intelligent, and all that. And it's DNA that we inherit from our parents. So one major role of zinc is in the creation of DNA, and we are going to go to more details of that. So it's number one. Number two, as we grow, we know that there is the division of cells. So for the division of cells, biologically, whether it is the mitosis process or even that one of reproduction, meiosis, zinc is very, very important. Growth of cells. Number three, zinc is also required in the building up of proteins. Our bodies are made up of proteinous stuff. The building up of proteins, zinc is very, very required. Whenever we have wounds, that is healing of damaged tissues, we shall require the presence of zinc. Zinc also helps in supporting a healthy immune system. Immune system is the one that enables us to defend ourselves against the diseases. If your immune guard goes down, there are chances that you are predisposed to attack by diseases. So to ensure that our bodies are strong, our immunity is strong, zinc is very, very important. So we are saying that zinc is very, very important in the growth and multiplication of cells. Adequate quantities of zinc are required in our bodies for that rapid growth, moving all the way from the toddler age to adolescent and all that. Zinc is very, very important. Adolescents, and even for our pregnant mothers, zinc is very, very important. No wonder now our mother country, green world, has given us these tabs, so in form of tablets in this bottle, the zinc tablets, and that is what I would want to bring to you this evening. Before we go to the details about zinc, I would want to ask yourself, how comes we want to talk about zinc? Does it mean that we don't have other micro elements in our body that we require? Now, it has been found that zinc is so important such that we need to supplement our bodies with that mineral, because the deficiency of that mineral will have dire consequences to the growth of a human being. So global wise, studies have been done global wise, or in different provinces, in different continent, all the way from North America, South America, in Africa, in Europe, in Australia. There is the distribution of zinc in terms of either there is low deficiency, there is medium deficiency, or high deficiency. So we want to look at global distribution of zinc. What can we find out? So in our chart, global distribution of zinc deficiency, if we would look closely, we would find that there are some areas where research have shown that there is low distribution. For example, on my far left, there is a color there, a color of something like the lake, that is blue. That means that low distribution. All the way on the left, there is USA, in US, United States, low distribution. USA, imagine, low distribution uptake of zinc. Down there in the middle, we have Mexico. Mexico has also what we call medium distribution of zinc. The uptake of zinc from the research in human beings is not optimal. It's medium. Now, when we go to a country that in South America we call Chile, Chile is even worse off. The concentration of zinc or zinc deficiency is so high, it's to that level that we call high deficiency in Chile. In Brazil, it's medium distribution, medium availability. In Argentina, it's low distribution. That is North and South America. In North America, that is America and Canada, there is low distribution or availability of zinc. When we come to Africa now, it's even worse. In East Africa and most of the Central African country, the availability of zinc is very low. So we have high deficiency of zinc in Central Africa. In Northern Africa, the African country like Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, the availability is medium. The whole of Europe, including Russia, the availability of zinc is medium availability. I think they are better off. But now when we come to the eastern side, in India, again we have a big problem. In India, there is high deficiency of zinc. The whole of Russia have said medium availability. That when we go to Australia, the availability of zinc is low, not optimal as we would wish. The current world population is about 8.1 billion. Now, studies have shown that about a third of that they show deficiency in zinc. That means that you compromise on issues of creation of DNA in those populations, maybe most of the third world countries, the issue of cell division, the building of protein, healing of damaged tissue will be compromised because of high deficiency of zinc in those countries that I've talked about. So even here in our country in Kenya, we have now high deficiency. No wonder now our mother company gives us this zinc tablet that I would want to bring to you. So as I go now to the actual deficiency and we look at the symptoms of deficiency, remember that bit, that studies have shown a third of the world population, about a third of 8.1 billion, that is 2.7 billion, show elements of deficiency in zinc. It's very, very important. From the World Health Organization, WHO, it has shown that a third of the world population, 2.7 billion, fall below the bare minimum of what we require each human being to have and all that. So let's move on to the second presentation. I would want to talk about the deficiency, or why is zinc so now important in our bodies? What is it that it does to our bodies so that we can have normal growth and development? Number one, the deficiency of zinc is going to be manifested by, number one, by what we call poor memory. Poor memory. Memory is something to do with remembering things, remembering your daily program, remembering your task in the day. So we would call that maybe having a crowded mind. What somebody can even call it like having a foggy thinking. You are not able to process your thoughts well because of poor memory. That goes hand in hand with what I would call emotionality or emotional instability. What is emotions? Emotions is shown by things like when you are maybe you have things like even issues like depression can fall about because of the emotions. When you have deficiency in social behavior, when you have increased anxiety, irritability, all that is coming under emotion. So note that as the first thing. Deficiency of zinc is manifested by poor memory and emotionality, poor thinking, impaired cognitive functions. Like now, we expect that when young ones go to school and they are taught by the teacher, they are supposed to understand now whatever they are being taught. But because of deficiency of zinc, they will now have what we call impaired cognitive functions. They are not able to remember. They are not able to do the arithmetics. See, they have what we would call memory problems. So that's point number one: poor memory and emotionality, manifested by issues like depression, okay, anxiety, irritability. Irritability means that you get annoyed because of small things. Small things, okay. That is now that's point number one. So zinc is very, very important to sort out that issue. The second one is the issue of even having poor sight, poor eyesight. That is what I would call it, poor eyesight. What does that mean? Zinc is required in the key organ that deals with seeing, that is the eye. The eye is made up of a specific part we call the retina, the optic nerves. The zinc is required in those areas. So once you have compromised concentration of zinc in your body, it means that the retina, the optic nerves will not be able to function normally. That means that if it's a young boy or a young girl, he will now have issues of retardation. He can't be able to see even when he's in class. His daily growth will be compromised. That is poor eyesight. Very, very important that we have zinc. The third one, the third deficiency issues about zinc is that we would expect that if it's a young baby, we expect them to grow upright, increase in length normally. As you put on weight, as you become older and older, you are supposed to grow taller and taller. What I would call linear growth in children. You are increasing in height. Now, when you don't have sufficient height, I mean zinc in your body, that is compromised. The linear growth of the children is going to be compromised, okay, because of lack of zinc. That is point number three. Point number four, deficiency of zinc is manifested by infertility and impotence. Zinc is very, very much required, or sufficient quantities of zinc is required, mainly in men. It is required for the formation of the hormone dealing with the fertility, that is testosterone hormone. It requires that we have sufficient zinc in our bodies, okay. We require sufficient and motile sperms, what I would call now sperm quality. So once now you don't have sufficient zinc, we have what we call now poor sperm quality. All that is what now I'm calling infertility. Absence or lack of sufficient quantities, deficiencies of zinc in our body results to low testosterone in our bodies for men. It results to poor sperm quality. The sperms are not able even to fertilize the egg. That is what now we call male infertility. It is quite a serious issue, because that means that now you wouldn't have multiplication of human beings the way it's supposed to be. There will also be what we would call decreased sex drive. We would expect that if it's, for example, it's in adolescent age, both boys and girls, there should be increased or enhanced sex drive, but lack of zinc, deficiency of zinc, can result to that abnormality that I have talked about. So, or as I go to the next thing, note those 4 key points: poor memory and emotionality will result once we don't have sufficient zinc, deficiencies of zinc. There will be poor eyesight, the young ones or that person, and especially those ones who are growing, the young babies. There will be poor eyesight. There will be compromised linear growth, that is increase in height. There will be infertility and impotence. Those 4 points are are issues about deficiencies of zinc. I would want to go to another chapter and talk about the causes of zinc deficiency. What causes zinc deficiency in our bodies in all the region that we have talked about? If it is a South American continent, North American continent, in Africa, in India, in Europe, and also in Australia. Studies have shown that there will be deficiency. So let's look at causes of deficiency of zinc, and there are quite a number. We would go one by one. Number one is the key cause of deficiency is when we have now inadequate diet. That means now the population is not having enough quantities of meat, maybe whether it is from poultry, the eggs, or even the seafood. We are not taking enough of that. Those are key sources of zinc: meat, poultry products, maybe eggs, or even maybe the meat from the poultry, and the seafood, the fish, the crabs, etc. Inadequate diet. We are not having inadequate diet that can cause deficiency in zinc. Number two, we have a big level of the population that do not go for animal proteins, what we call the vegetarian diet. Now, the vegetarian diet has been found to be low in zinc. When you take vegetables and you don't take animal proteins, the zinc intake, the zinc status is compromised. So the vegetarians have that, they are predisposed to the issue of lack of zinc, the zinc deficiency, because they are not taking animal proteins, including meat, maybe poultry and seafood. Vegetarians, they are only taking vegetables and fruits. That compromises the zinc in their body. Number three, another cause of zinc deficiency is mainly so much at the adolescent age. In adolescent age, there is very high demand for zinc in our bodies. The adolescents, we can also call them, these are the young ones who are now at puberty. Most of the zinc is going to be used in cell division, what we call it helps in cells to grow and multiply. Zinc will be required in big quantities in at that puberty stage. The adolescent young ones, they require a lot of zinc. Zinc is being utilized. That means that more needs to be supplied. So the cells are growing, the cells are multiplying. Presence of zinc is highly required in both boys and girls. So absence of zinc disrupts puberty in boys. The issue of even what we had said earlier. Boys, we have now reduced maybe sperm quality. Remember, these are adolescents that are going to be young adults and later adults. The male sex drive is compromised at puberty. If it is in the girls, we have deficiency or it disrupts the menstruation. Okay, it disrupts the issue of formation of the egg maybe every month, and the following other processes like menstruation. Absence of zinc disrupts so much issues about the zinc in both boys and girls. In adults too, absence of zinc has been found to compromise the issue of even the taste buds, the taste in our tongue. We are not able to taste the foods. We are not able to tell, does the food have, is it bitter, is it does it have taste? That is the taste. And also the issue of appetite is also compromised. So that is adolescent demand for zinc. Very, very important. At the puberty, we have to replenish the zinc in adolescence. So if we don't, deficiency follows. Number four, another cause of deficiency is now maybe when we have pregnancy or the breastfeeding mother. Zinc is required so much during the fetal or the fetus, the fetal growth. When the fetus is growing, a lot of zinc is required. Absence of zinc in pregnant mothers results in what we call preterm births. The gestation period should be 9 months when everything is operating well, when zinc and other microelements are there. If zinc is compromised, there is deficiency, the baby might be born earlier, what we can call preterm births. Not just that, the baby will be born with what we call the birth weights that are low birth weights. The mother might have prolonged labor. All that comes about because of deficiency of zinc. It's very, very important in breastfeeding mothers, in pregnant mothers. Presence of zinc is very, very crucial because of what I've talked about. The baby should be born with the correct weight. Okay. The fetus, when it's developing in the mother, should be in an environment that is rich in that micro element we are calling zinc. Otherwise, the mother is likely to give us an underweight baby, or the mother can have what we would call prolonged labor that now can bring other complications. So note that one. Pregnancy and breastfeeding mothers, they require a lot of zinc. Let's go to point number 5. Another one, now we come now to what I can call to gastrointestinal diseases. Gastrointestinal diseases. What is this gastrointestinal disease? Maybe we can call it GI. GI is gastrointestinal diseases. Maybe things like the bowel movement. The way the food moves from the esophagus, it flows to the stomach, the small intestines, including the large intestines, the rectum, that is the GI, gastrointestinal tract. Not just that, even the accessory organs too, they will require the issue of zinc. The accessory organs are organs like the liver. Presence of zinc in the liver is very important. In the gallbladder, presence of zinc is very, very important. In the pancreas, presence of zinc microelements is very, very important. So note that part. The gastrointestinal diseases are going to be more prevalent when that person has deficiency of zinc. Is very, very important. All the way from the esophagus to the mouth, esophagus to the stomach, to the small intestine, to the rectum, and the accessory organs. Presence of zinc is very, 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 very important so that we minimize the gastrointestinal diseases. Point number 6 about causes of deficiency of zinc is those people who have this lifestyle of alcoholism. You take one too many. What happens when you have alcoholism? The metabolism of alcohol depletes zinc in our body. It causes decline in our body. Absence or presence of alcohol in our body, the metabolism of zinc causes the zinc ion in our body to be depleted and all that. So we would recommend that you reduce on alcoholism so that you don't bind the zinc that is already there. You are going to deplete the zinc. You are going to decline the zinc that is in our body. So those people with the lifestyle of alcoholism, you are likely to suffer from zinc deficiency. And we have already talked about the complications that come about when somebody does not have zinc. It's very, very important that we have zinc in our body. Let's avoid the lifestyle of excessive drinking, alcoholism. Number 7, another cause of zinc deficiency, a very, very important one, is now when somebody has issues with the liver and the kidney, what I would call chronic liver and kidney diseases. Chronic liver and kidney diseases. That is abbreviated as CKD, chronic kidney diseases and all that. When the liver has issues, when the kidney has issues. Maybe we would say something about the liver first. Now, the liver is very important in the metabolism of proteins. When we take proteins in our body, these proteins are broken down to nitrogenous materials, including can be broken down to things like even like urea. It can be broken down to uric acid. It can be broken down to ammonia. So the metabolisms of those three nitrogenous compounds, urea, ammonia, and even uric acid, require presence of zinc in the liver. What does that mean? When we have now compromised zinc levels in the liver, we are going to have problems. For example, when you take one of those components, urea is excreted in urine, but ammonia and uric acid are poisonous to our bodies, and as fast as possible they should be removed. So absence of zinc ions compromises the health of that person. That is now the liver, chronic liver issues. When we come to the kidney, and we have talked about kidney issues later. When we have failure in the kidney, we call it renal failure. Renal failure. Things like what? We can have the kidney stones, accumulation of nitrogenous materials that now harden up to be a stone. We call it the kidney stone. We can now bring other issues, the kidney stones, very, very important. We can have other issues like now the renal failure, as I have already said. In all of them now we are calling them the chronic liver and kidney diseases. They come about because of lack of zinc ion. Maybe I would go back a bit to the liver. Liver, I have already talked about the metabolism of the nitrogenous material, urea, ammonia, and uric acid. Zinc too is also required in formation or in issues about diabetes. We know that we have diabetes type 1 and diabetes type 2. For us to be able to produce insulin that's now going to protect us against diabetes 1 or type 1 and type 2, presence of zinc mineral is very, very important. That micro element we are calling zinc is very, very important, so that now we can strongly guard against diabetes, both type 1 and type 2. It's very, very important that now we have zinc in our bodies. So what are we saying? The causes of zinc are what, in summary? Number one, inadequate diet. We are not getting enough zinc in the food that we are eating. Number two, those of us with vegetarian diet. Vegetarian diet, whenever we take the greens and we are not taking animal proteins, there is low status of zinc in our bodies. Number three, the adolescent, the puberty stage, we know that they are growing very, very, very fast. Zinc is required both in girls and in boys. Absence of zinc disrupts the puberty in both boys and girls. There is reduced sperm quality. There is low sperm drive. Both adolescents and also in adults, we can have poor tasting of something. The taste buds are interfered with. The appetite too may be interfered with. So very, very important in adolescent and all that. I have talked about pregnancy and breastfeeding mothers. They require a lot of zinc in our bodies, the correct concentration. Zinc is required in the growth of the fetus in the body, in the mother, in the womb of the mother. Otherwise, we are going to have what we can call preterm birth. We might have also what we can call low birth weight. We can have prolonged labor, etc. for our mothers. Pregnancy and breastfeeding mothers, they will require zinc. Point number 5, I've talked about GI. What is GI? Gastrointestinal diseases, including things like diabetes. They have talked about that. I've talked about renal failure. It's very, very important that all the way from the esophagus to the other vital organs like pancreas, liver, and all that small intestines, they require presence of zinc. Very, very important. I've talked about alcoholism. Whenever we have metabolism of alcohol, zinc is depleted or it is declined in our body. Those of us who take alcohol, watch on that. Zinc, the concentration of zinc goes down, down and down. I've talked about the liver and the kidney. Very, very important. The kidney, that's where now we can have things like the kidney stones. We could even have the renal failure because of lack of zinc mineral. I've talked about the liver. I've talked about the three components: urea, uric acid, and ammonia. The metabolism of those three nitrogenous compound, zinc presence is very important. I've talked also about diabetes 1 and 2. Presence of zinc is very, very important. Maybe I would add on the side of the GI, the gastrointestinal diseases, presence of zinc will help so much to prevent what we call even diarrhea. When we have diarrhea, what happens is a lot of zinc is going to be wasted, or the reabsorption of salts is going to be complicated by lack of zinc in our body. So the victim is likely to lose water and get dehydrated very fast because the reabsorption of the electrolytes is being compromised, and we would need to watch on that. We move on now. We would want to look at the quantities of zinc that we would require in our bodies. What are the quantities that we would require per day for us to say that we have sufficient quantities of zinc in our bodies? What are the respective quantities of zinc that we would require in our bodies, both for children, those who are under 5 years, and also for the senior citizens and all that? How much zinc do we need? That's the question. What is the recommended daily allowance? What would be called the RDA, recommended daily allowance of zinc to the different groups of human beings. So we begin with the children, those who are between 4 to 8 years. For the males, the boys, they would require 5 milligrams per day of zinc. 5 to 8 years, 5 milligrams per day. For the girls, the females, 4 to 8 years, they would require 5 milligrams per day of zinc dosage. Again, children between 9 to 13 years, for the males, they require 8 milligrams per day of zinc. The same will apply to the girls, 8 milligrams of zinc per day. Now, when we come to the puberty age, that is the adolescent, young boys and girls between 14 to 18 years, they will require, for the boys, they require 11 milligrams per day, 11 milligrams of zinc ions per day. When we come to the girls, the same age, 14 to 18 years, they will require 9 milligrams of zinc per day. So we find that for adolescent, the boys will require more zinc than the girls, a difference of 3 units. The boys require 11, the girls require 9. The difference is it 2? Yeah, difference of 2. Now, when we come to the young adults, 19 years and older, the males require 11 milligrams per day. Okay, those are now adults, boys, men, 11 milligrams per day. Whereas now adults, for the ladies, for the females, it's 8 milligrams per day of zinc. When we come to some physiological stages in life, maybe for the women, when we have a pregnant mother, they will now jump to 11 milligrams per day of the zinc micro element. For the breastfeeding mothers, they require slightly high, that is 12 milligrams per day. So you will find that the daily exposure to the zinc microelements is very, very important. We are talking about per day. 5 for boys below 8 years, 8 for boys below 13, 11 for young adults, and there we are, it peaks at 11. For the girls, it is 5 below 8, 8 for those who are between 9 and 13, 9 for those between 14 and 18, 8 for those who are about adolescent age, and 11 and 12 for pregnant and breastfeeding mothers respectively. The daily allowance of zinc. Where do you get this zinc supplement? I have it here for you. We are calling it the zinc tablet, and that is my discussion today. Zinc, all the way from our mother company, that is Green World. Very hardy bottle. We got it here in our Naivasha offices, and you are welcome for consultation, or so that you can purchase even some. Next, I would want us to talk about the strength of these zinc tablets. What are the advantages or the strengths, the benefits? Why are we advocating this zinc tablet? Number one, the strength of the Greenwald zinc tablets. What are these? The strengths. What are the key areas, the cornerstones of these tablets? Number one, this zinc, we use high quality biofermented natural zinc. The zinc that we have here is of high quality, almost 100% zinc, and it is of high quality. It is biofermented. It's derived from what we can call zinc lactate. Zinc lactate is a component which is organically obtained from plants. It is biofermented. It is reinforced. It's the raw material that makes up the zinc tablet that we have there. So point number one, we use high quality biofermented natural zinc lactate as the main raw material to come up with the zinc tablet. Note that zinc lactate, it's organic, derived from plants. Point number two. That's point number one. Point number two, the zinc that we have here has what we can call high absorption rate. When we take that zinc, it's going to be absorbed at a very high rate in our bodies. It's of very high purity, and it's very, very stable. Stable means it will not decompose to give us other compounds. It has high absorption rate, it's of high purity, it's of high stability with good taste. Good taste, imagine. It doesn't leave a sour taste in your mouth. It's of purity, excellent. Stability, excellent. With good taste in our mouth. There we are. Point number three, each tablet, if you take each tablet, and later I'm going to tell you about the dosage that we need to take. Each tablet of the zinc that is in this bottle, it contains 4 milligrams of zinc. Okay, it contains 4 milligrams of the zinc and all that. Very, very important. That is about what? If we go back to what we are talking about, the young people and all that, if you have to take a tablet, you'd get about 4 milligrams. That's what I have talked about. But now we found that in children, they require about 5 milligrams. So when you take a tablet, you are almost roughly there. We require 5 for the young ones, but you get 5 per tablets. For the children, we said it is 8 milligrams, so you need like 2 tablets. You'll get all the zinc allowance you need per day. For the adults, we need 11. That means that you may require even maybe 2 to 3 of the tablets for you to have the sufficient quantities that you require per day. So I would want to go through that again. Number one, I said the zinc that is of here, it's of high quality, it is biofermented, it is derived from zinc lactate as the main raw material. It is purified and packed. Point number two, It has high absorption rate. It's purity, stable with good taste. Point number 3, each tablet contains 4 milligrams of zinc. Okay, zinc, the daily allowance of zinc, 4 milligrams per each tablet that you take. We go to point number 4. About the zinc, point number 4, the next one. I would want to continue with the benefits of zinc tablets to our bodies. We said that number 1, it is essential, or maybe I could have said this earlier. It is essential for the normal functions. Zinc, it's very essential for the normal functions of over 300 enzymes. What is an enzyme? An enzyme is an organic protein that is in our body. It is biological, and it speeds up the processes. So we can say it is a biological catalyst. It's a protein. It speeds up the reaction in our bodies. If it is digestion is going to take place faster because of the presence of enzymes. And at the end of the process, that enzyme is not destroyed. So we are saying the benefit of the zinc tablets is that it is essential for the normal functions of over 300 enzymes that are involved in the synthesis and metabolism of carbohydrate. For us to be able to maybe synthesize carbohydrate or to break down the carbohydrates in our bodies, for example, if it is glucose, we need to break down glucose into energy. If it is starch, we need to metabolize the starch. If it is glycogen that we store in our liver when we have excess of the sugars, that is what we are calling synthesis and metabolism of carbohydrates. Presence of zinc is very, very important because that zinc is the one that is bringing about the activation of the enzymes. Not just carbohydrates. The synthesis and the metabolism of lipids, the fats. The synthesis and metabolism of proteins. We take proteins, we are going to break them down to amino acids, and later we can even build them up. That breaking or maybe formation, synthesis and metabolism of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, nucleic acids. What are nucleic acids? Nucleic acids is like what we had seen even earlier, that is required in DNA, the deoxyribonucleic acids. We also have RNA. So nucleic acids and other micronutrients, we require presence of zinc mineral or zinc ions, that micro element. Very, very important. Point number 2. Zinc is required in the human body to activate what we can call the T cells. What are T cells? T cells are actually some cells that helps us to fight the disease-causing organism. They bring about the issue of immunity. They protect the body. Can I say that again? Zinc is required in the body to activate what we can call the T cells. The biological name for that one, the medics, they may call it the lymphocytes. The activation of the T cells, the lymphocytes, that helps us to protect the body, you require presence of zinc. In another word, we are saying zinc is required so that we are able to fight the bodies, to fight the pathogens. The pathogens are fought by the T cells, the lymphocytes, and they require presence of zinc so that they are activated. So deficiency of zinc can severely impair immune system. When we don't have sufficient quantities of zinc, that means that we are not able to activate the T cells, the lymphocytes. That means that our body can be predisposed to be attacked by the pathogens. Pathogens would include things like viruses, they would attack us. Then our defense will be down. Things like fungus, they can attack us. Things like bacteria, they can attack us. And all these pathogens they are there in the wind, they are in the environment. So to guard against, to boost the deficiency of our body, we'll have to need plenty of the T cells, the lymphocytes, the activation will require that we have zinc in our body. Point number 3, another benefit of zinc tablet to our body is that it helps in issues about diarrhea. We know that diarrhea kills about 1.6 million children every year. Diarrhea. When the young ones pass the watery stool, the watery feces, very watery, with a lot of electrolytes is passed, a lot of minerals, sodium, zinc, chlorides, they are all passed out. They are not being reabsorbed. So what I'm saying, diarrhea kills 1.6 million children every 5 years due to zinc deficiency. Diarrhea actually is a sign that you have deficiency of zinc, because zinc actually helps in reabsorption of the electrolytes. So when somebody is diarrheaing, it's showing that he doesn't have the capacity to do the reabsorption. So it's a sign and also a cause of zinc deficiency when you find diarrhea. Okay, so when there is a diarrhea, there is poor or reduced water and electrolyte reabsorption due to zinc deficiency. It's very, very important that we have zinc, so that if there is complication of diarrhea for whatever cause, we have at least some ability to fight back and we are able to reabsorb the electrolytes. What are electrolytes? Electrolytes are these salts that we require in our body. Like now the zinc, we require like chlorides, we require like potassium, we require like sodium. We need to reabsorb them and they should not be lost during diarrhea. That is point number 3 about the benefit of zinc tablets to our body. Point number 4, the benefit of zinc tablets to our body. Zinc, as I said very earlier, it is essential for cell division. Zinc promotes normal growth and development during pregnancy, during childhood and adolescence. Those are key areas in our bodies. Zinc, it helps in cell division. In medics, they would say that is what we call mitosis. When we're in school, we can remember that. It helps in cell division. It is, for example, now when we have things like pregnancy, we know we have fertilization. Then we have one big cell that's going to divide into 2. Then the 2 will divide into 4. The 4 will divide into 8, etc. That is what we are calling cell division, cell multiplication and development during pregnancy, the growth of the fetus in the mother's womb. Zinc is required. Childhood and at puberty, that is adolescence, we would summarize and say that it is essential in cell division, in what we can call cell proliferation and differentiation. There comes a time when the cells will have to differentiate, and we would say that, for example, these cells will form the hand, these cells will form the head, these cells will form the leg. We call it cell differentiation. These cells will form the gut. Cell proliferation, we want the cells to be more and more, the process of growth of those cells. It is essential that we have presence of zinc. So what we are saying is this: in nucleic acid, that is the DNA synthesis, in mitosis, presence of zinc is very, very important. Cell division. Point number 5, zinc will help in vitamin A to create a pigment that we call melanin. Zinc, can I repeat that again? Zinc is required. It helps vitamin A. Zinc helps vitamin A to create a pigment that is called melanin. Melanin is a key pigment that is to be found around the eyes so that it can protect the eye. The health of the eye, the eye is now the one that we use to perceive, to see. Okay? We require to protect the eye, we require to protect the retina. So we would say that in the eye, that vital organ, in the retina, which is very, very important, we require presence of zinc, so that zinc can help in formation of melanin and melanin is the one that's now going to protect the eye so that we don't lose our eyesight even as we age. Very, very important. Presence of zinc and vitamin A. Metabolism. Zinc is very, very important. Point number 6. Zinc helps in crucial role in various phases of insulin production. Insulin production. It is absence of insulin in our bodies that results to diabetes. And we have already said we have two types of diabetes. Diabetes type 1, diabetes type 2. They require presence of insulin hormone. Now, how is that related to zinc? Zinc plays a vital role in the various levels of insulin production. The various level, I want to believe that this takes place in the pancreas. The formation of insulin would require that we activate that with zinc. And here we are, zinc in the concentrated form, pure, and it's gonna be absorbed at a very high rate. Type 2 diabetes can be impaired and all that. It can come about mainly when we have the issue of zinc deficiency. So type 2 diabetes with impaired glucose tolerance are generally found to be zinc deficiency. When we have zinc deficiency, we are likely to accelerate our diabetes from stage 1 to stage 2. It gets worse and worse once now we don't have zinc in our bodies. Point number 7, for our mothers, for women, zinc is very, very important in the ovaries, what we can call the follicles. It enables the egg to travel. If we go through that again, we know that ovulation will take place in the ovary. That's where we have the follicles. The egg will travel from the ovaries through the fallopian tubes to the womb for fertilization. So we are saying for women, zinc makes sure that there is enough fluid in the follicle, which enables the egg to travel to the fallopian tubes. Zinc can also shrink the uterine fibroids. Okay, so there we have 2 points simultaneously. Zinc is required in the fluid that is to be found in the follicles. It is in the follicles that we have the ova, and ova is going to be ovulated in the ovary. Presence of zinc is very, very important. Some of the women have complications of fibroids. If you have sufficient quantities of zinc, there are also likelihood that the extent of the fibroids is going to be made less. They are going to shrink to be lesser when we have zinc in our body. So it's just very, very important for our mothers that they have enough zinc. It's going to help in ovulation. It's going to help in case there are chances of the fibroids. Point number 8, for men, and we had said this earlier, men are the carriers of this cell that we call the sperm. Actually, a sperm is a cell. So for men, zinc is used in testosterone production. Okay, testosterone, that key hormone that brings about the male characteristics in a man. It also helps in the production of the tail and the outer layer of the sperm cell. The sperm cell, we know that it has the head and then it has a tail. It is the tail that enables the sperm to swim, as now it goes to the fallopian tube so that it can meet the ova and then fertilization will take place. So presence of zinc is twofold. Testosterone hormone is required production of that. It is also required in the formation of the tail that helps now in the movement of the sperm cell. What does that mean? When we have deficiency of zinc, therefore, in a man, there will be low sperm count. There will be less and less concentration of the sperm. Not just that, the vitality or the quality of those sperms will be low, low, and low, and low. It's going to be worse and worse and worse. It's very, very important that we have the right concentration of zinc in a man, so that they are able to carry on with their key role, both the testosterone and also mortality of the sperm. Another key importance of zinc is that zinc it has this property that we can call it is antiviral. It has antiviral properties. We in a few years ago, we had this pandemic of the COVID and all that. We had the greatest health burden of the COVID, and research has shown that presence of zinc in our bodies has what we can call anti-zinc viral properties and all that, and that is very, very important. So as we finish, we can say that zinc is very important suitable for those people who have unbalanced diet. Okay, unbalanced diet. Vegetarians, they require the zinc. Okay, those people who have issues of medication, they require zinc. Is very, very important. I would want to finish up my discussion by looking at how zinc interacts with other nutrients. Zinc interacts with the folic acid. Folic acid improves the absorption of zinc. It's very, very important. Zinc interacts with vitamin A. Zinc increases vitamin A release from the liver. Very, very important. Zinc helps in high fiber diet. Very, very important. If you are high on fiber diet, you are needed to take the recommended amount of zinc supplement. To finish up my discussion, would want to talk about the way we would suggest that you take this zinc supplement. What would be the dosage? Zinc nutrient, what concentration would you require for adults? I'm finishing now as I summarize. For adults, would recommend that you take 1 tablet each time you take, and you do that twice in a day. 1 tablet in the morning and 1 tablet in the evening. So twice in a day. That is for adults. In children, let's take 1 tablet each time once in a day. That would be sufficient, and we are recommended that we take these tablets 30 minutes after meals. After the meal, take the tablet. We have small precautions that if you are taking chitosan supplement, okay, the chitosan capsule or the cellulose meal, avoid taking the zinc supplement. It's also important that we also don't overdose. Don't take more than we have recommended. For adults, 2 tablets per day. For children, 1 tablet per day. Let it be after 30 minutes after meal. So, friends, colleagues, partners in Greenworld, note this mineral that we are calling zinc. Zinc, very, very important. That was my discussion today. Kindly visit our office. Get yourself a bottle of this so that you can have healthy living and all will be well. So thank you for teaming up with me. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you, Greenworld. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you so much. That is the end of my discussion. Thank you. Karibu sana.
The melanin queen. Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu. Sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa. Baba. Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu. Sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa na Baba. Sina hela, sina pesa, sina doo, sina nyumba, sina gari, sina hoo. Kila kukikucha minawaza kesho, napiga moyo konde nitafika hoo. Wanaokudharau leo watakusalimia kesho, wanaokusema sema watakusifia kesho. Unaokula nao na kucheka nao, kesho kidondoka utokuwa nao. Piga moyo konde, wakati wa Mungu, wakati sahihi. Piga moyo konde, wakati wa Baba, wakati sahihi. Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu. Sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa.